Hey, this is my first time doing this, so bear with me as I make some mistakes about going about this. But I did want to tell you, my name is Gina. Most of you connect with me on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram. And I kind of wanted to develop this community before I started to discuss a bigger platform. And so, if you can join me here today, that's cool. Murphy's Law could be working in regard to this phone number thing. So it is what it is, as Mariah Carey said. And I'll still try to work with it. But, we'll see how it goes. Let's see. In the meantime, what I wanted to do was do like a power tribe discussion with solutions. But before I get into that, what I'd really like to do is to make a disclaimer, right? So that the views expressed by myself, Gina Humber, that the views discussed by myself, Gina Humber, do not express totally the views of Diversity is a Verb or the New York City Board of Education. So I wanted to put that in. You're very prompt, Amber, but you're just like me. So I guess, maybe people are a little slow to come, but it's all cool, This being that this is the first time of me going live, I am unsure, but what I do know is that I can no longer let me being unsure about things stop me from some of the discussions that arise within me, right? So I'm going to try this phone number thing and see if it works. Okay, so it's supposed to be 605-475-2875. And when I turn it on, then people can call in. Hopefully that's how it works. Okay, we'll see.
To your access code or PIN followed by the pound sign.
Okay, I'm going to try this.
After the tone, please record your name to be announced to other callers in the call.
Okay. Gina. I don't know if that works.
You've now entered the conference.
Okay. So we'll see what happens. So I don't know how many of you, I don't know if you just start talking too, or you wait till there's more people in the room. But what I'll do is I'll just start talking. So there was news report of 4 teens who were African American, right? And what they did was some vile acts to another teen who happened to be of European descent. Hi, Depasia, I'm so glad you came. And hi, Amber. It's so good to have people, who you love, especially like the first time you're doing something, you have this kind of family there, and I appreciate it. So in the news was these 4 African American teens, and they had did vile acts to a European teen, and President Obama had came out and he had denounced, what these teens had done. And I don't know about you guys, but I felt like, let me say for the record, of course, nobody has to email me after they see this abroad or across that, of course, I think what they did was wrong. But I kind of felt a way about President Obama. Do you know what I'm saying? I kind of felt a way about him making this charge against the teens. And I thought to myself, wow, bro, like if you're going to do that, then I didn't hear you say anything when the football player regarding another mentally challenged teen and how they took a hanger and how they raped him. I didn't see you come out on that. Now, I do have to say for the record, I have seen Obama twice. You guys could correct me, of course, if I'm wrong. But twice I've heard him say something in regard to the Trayvon Martin situation, that this could be his own child, right? And I've heard him discuss at Morehouse, though a lot of people took it as chastisement, but I heard him also say encouraging words to African Americans there. But over the years, I have heard him say something to the effect, when it comes down to African Americans, this idea of thugs, and he definitely used those words. And I didn't see him using those same words as it related to other ethnic groups. And it kind of made me feel a lot of ways. Thank you for the love. I so appreciate it, because I'm so nervous. What it definitely did was it made me uncomfortable, because I've had newspapers contact me and ask me what were my viewpoints. And I decided at that time not to give my viewpoints, for a couple of reasons. So I thought it pretentious, actually, of President Obama to kind of give his feelings and comments when I don't hear him doing it across the board, because that to me is how media has been. Media gives this kind of, when it comes down to people of color or to people who society has marginalized, we somehow are more volatile, than any other society. And that's, when you look at the statistics, it's not true, which is why I don't say things like black on black crime, because I don't hear people saying in the news media, white on white crime. I mean, you don't hear that. Not one time have you heard listening to the news, white on white crime, or hey, Twinkle, or, Latino on Latino crime, or you just don't hear that. So you only hear it when it comes down to African American people, brown people. And so it bothers me. And it thought to me, what message did that say to me? And what it said to me was, President Obama, you being the leader of the free world, you're sending a message out that somehow we are more violent, more prone to doing things where we need your chastisement. Keep in mind, I am a President Obama fiend. Like, I got a little cup, with his name on it and everything. And, but I don't hear him chastising other groups. And it bothered me because it sends a huge message. And I felt a way about it. And the thing about me, thank you, Tapasia. And right, you don't hear Latino on Latino crime, and so what happens in the media is that we then tend to adopt these words. Then I see African American or people of color going, oh yeah, that's black on black crime. And I'm sitting up there going, what is you talking about? When have you ever said white on white crime? Knowing that statistically in your neighborhood, crime happens within your group of people. Meaning that if you live in a white neighborhood, the people who are most likely to break into your neighborhood are also European Americans. It's not more, for the African American community. And so that's what really bothered me. And it made me feel a certain way. And I don't know how many of you read the book, The Post-Traumatic Slave Syndrome. Hola, Dillis. And the Post-Traumatic Slave Syndrome. And though I love President Obama, I feel like he stepped on eggshells. And so I really wanted brothers to really come into this room or this discussion to give their point of view, because I don't know what it's like to be an African American man, but I do know what it's like to kowtow, right? To sit around and kind of, like you've ever been to a restaurant and you tip more, because you don't want them to think as an African American, you don't have the money to pay. It's these things that only I think we kind of deal with. We can, you kind of be extra nice, to show that you're not that kind of African American, And so I kind of felt like throughout Obama's presidency that's what it's about. Hi, Marta, how are you? So I kind of felt like that's what it was about for me. That I did not see President Obama, and I understand, before you guys comment, I understand that he is not the president of African Americans. I understand that he's the president of, these United States. But I feel like there were so many times where he could have said something that was like, which got the point across. And he took a softer approach. And then when I look at this newly elect dictator we've got coming in, please forgive my language here, but his balls are like literally, like he's like literally carrying them, like around, like, here, smell them, here, here, this is who I am. And people love this. They love this shit. They sitting around like, oh my God, do you see what he's doing? Do you see what he's doing? And I'm sitting around going, President Obama, you only have a few days left in office. Do you really want to make the few days left in office about you discussing about what these 4 teens did? It was such a horrific crime, but not say anything when the football player had raped this European American football player, had raped this black mentally challenged person with a hanger? Where was you? And so it bothered me. And I know that if it bothered me, I hope that it didn't just bother me. I hope that it bothered a few of you. I'm glad to see one brother on here. I wish there was more brothers on here, because we really need you guys. We really need to understand, because, don't cut me off for being wrong, but it seems to me that whenever there's a movement, there's always women in order to push this movement along, whether it's the Black Lives Matter movement. There's a movement by women, maybe because, I don't know, we birth. I don't know, maybe because we bring these things into fruition. But I am at a point where I'm looking at black men like, brother, come on, you only have a few days left in office. So, I kind of wanted, not just me rambling on, but I kind of wanted to know how you guys felt too. What did that message say to you when President Obama denounced what the African American teens did? And how did you feel about all the other incidences that didn't get denounced, and all the other times he didn't say anything? Is it just me? Is it just, it could be, because I could be a little bit on the, the crazy side, and think to myself, well, what's going on? So that's why I wanted to have this platform, because it sends the message to me out that we have to constantly keep kowtowing. We have to constantly keep being on these eggshells to let you know we're down for everybody. But everybody is not always down for us. I didn't see, I just don't see that. And I'm not saying, I've been to Black Lives Matters marches, and there is definitely a plethora of different ethnic groups there, and I'm glad. But past the marches, there needs to be other activism. Past the marches, we need to be supportive of one another. And right now in this Trump presidency, while I'm waiting for you guys to, if you have anything to say regarding what President Obama did, but regarding, in regards to this Trump presidency, this is more than ever a time for us to galvanize and support one another. If ever there was a time for black and brown people to do it, this is the time. And so, with that, I just feel an urgency. And if it has to start with women, okay. And if it has to start with melanated women, and I mean, I know that everybody has melanin, but I'm speaking specifically, if it has to start with us, then okay, I'm okay with it. And so I want to thank you guys for, showing up, and the little love things, and the little, I really appreciate that. But I really felt that the post-traumatic slave syndrome was definitely playing effect. And I wonder how many of us that does play into effect of. How many of us are quiet when we know that the food is bad or the restaurant service is bad because we don't want to make a scene? How many of us are quiet about it? I can tell you honestly that there have been times in my life where I've not said anything because I didn't want to be that black woman, but I've gotten to a certain age in my life where I don't really care anymore. Our youth are hurting. Our youth are dying. If you can see Amberimba Charles, she's in the group. I have her shirt on. I don't know. It doesn't look good for me to stick my chest out, but here it is. Talum, this awesome little light of mine. I mean, we have sisters who are doing things in the community. I live in New York and Connecticut, so when I see her doing things, she's doing things as it relates to Brooklynites and Brooklynites youth and teaching them these important values. And, as an educator, it has to start at home, and then from home into the neighborhood, and then from the neighborhood into the community. I was listening to a story, Tapasia, if you don't mind me sharing. She was kind enough to share it with me, and she was saying how, her friend or her family member who is Indian, how he had his people had, he had just gotten into the United States, and he looked up his last name in the phone book, and she said he contacted, people who, thank you, I appreciate it, because I'm not listing any names, the person, so I thank you that. And so she had told me this story about how he used his last name, looked up in the phone book. Back then it was, the phone book, and so called people and was like, look, I'm new to this country, I'm here, can you help me? And this brother, his own culture, his own people, his brother helped him. How many of us are willing to do that? How many of us are willing to pick up someone else? How many of us are willing to do something for somebody else? We're so used to being scammed and schemed and this thing happening, this thing happening. We just don't open our hearts up anymore. And we've become I'm talking about culturally, we're not eager to help because, people do things that aren't right. But what's happened is it's had a flip effect on us. When I was growing up as a young girl, I would hear things about me being fair-skinned and derogatory things. And, or me having long hair, derogatory things. And my sister is darker complected than I, and she would deal with that herself, and then you get to an age where you realize, I see the beauty in you. Where are we coming to when I can't see the beauty in Tapasia, where I can't see the beauty in Dillis, where I can't see the beauty in Amberimba, where I can't see the beauty in Twinkle? Where are we coming from when we can't acknowledge one another? We're so used to black on black crime and what they tell us and regurgitating this shit back that we start to look at our own youth and grab our own pocketbooks. I have to say honestly that when I've taught special ed students and I taught emotionally disturbed students. And these are students coming from urban backgrounds, right? I can tell you not one time did they were special ed to me. Not one time. Not one time. I treated them with respect. And even when I speak to youth on the street, like I see a brother and a young brother and he's got his pants hanging down. And I'll say, young brother, I don't want to see that early in the morning. Oh, I'm sorry, miss. I'm sorry, miss. And he'll pull it up. He'll smile and pull it up. Versus, look, when I see on Facebook, what do you think about this? So you save that because nobody is really trying to hear the negativity. But we used to do things in love, I'm not so old or so young. I don't remember. We used to do things in love. I remember as a kid on 149th Street having my money out in my hand and a woman yelling out the window, put that money away. And I put the money away. I'm okay. Thank you. We used to do things in love. We used to not speaking each other and use the word bitch, which is constantly being used. Bitch what? Bitch how? Bitch. You know, I get that it's cute. I get that the youth think it's cute. I really do. But I can tell you this for a fact. You will never see two Jewish women saying, bitch, what's up? You will never see two Jewish women saying it. You will never see two Indian women, two Asian women. You will never see them doing it. And I get from the youth can say to me, well, you know, that's just how we talk. I get it. What I also get, though, is the same way that they could treat you, the same way you subscribe to those words, right? And you somehow think those words are okay to say to one another. You know, you somehow think it's okay, you know, especially when I see young children, young parents with their children, and they're like, shut up, shut up. And then they end up in my classroom upset and angry, and you want to know why they're not why they're failing. They're failing because you have not, as parents, because I don't put it on the woman, you have not, as parents, told him who he was and walked in who he was. And that's how I felt the message from President Obama was. I felt like that message that he gave was a chastisement. I felt that message that he gave wasn't, just shut up. Just shut up, President Obama. Sit in the corner. Just ride that one on out. Just like you rode the others out. That's how I felt about it. I'm just taking this in. Lynn said, it's not cute, it's rude. I totally agree. I find it very disrespectful. Tapasio, we need to set the example as parents and as adults, which reminds me, Tapasio has this great Facebook, Conscientious Parents, Urban Parenting. I mean, it's right in there. And if you don't know Tapasio, she's just written an article for the Huffington Post in regard to hair and what that means. I ask you all to really check it out. When do we get to a point where we start supporting one another? Do we actually have to wait for Trump to be in office for us to realize that there's really only one human race? It's funny. I used to say it's funny, you can believe the world is round, right? Because scientific studies proved it, right? But you can't believe that there's just one race. There's different ethnic groups and cultures and sexual groups and identities, but there's only one human race. And at this point now, I think 2017 will force us into us discovering our humanity. And I kind of wish, I don't know how you guys feel, but I kind of wish that President Obama would have sat down on that particular one. And I also kind of wish that President Obama would have had some testicular fortitude. Those of a certain age know what I mean when I say that. Testicular fortitude. And just sat down on that one. Hey, Yolanda, how you doing? Amen. Men, please comment. Dillis, I so agree. Dear brothers in the room, thank you, Alfred. Alfred says he's listening. I appreciate that. I was just saying regarding African American men that I don't know what you guys deal with in terms of why President Obama keeps kind of doing these little eggshell things. But, I could be wrong, brothers, but he only has a few weeks or days left in office. I just would do as much as I could, to show I'm with you and I haven't forgotten you and I feel, you know what I'm saying? Hey, Melissa, how you doing? All right, so you guys didn't say anything about how I felt about President Obama. You notice when this goes live, it'll be Gina said. So I'm going to give you a minute to say if you felt anything too, and then I'm going to go to the next thing that kind of made me feel a little Now, I have to tell you while I'm waiting for anybody to say a comment about how they felt about President Obama denouncing those 14s, that I do make a lot of faces. So just bear with me. And, love me through it anyway. Okay. See, I make them now. Okay, man, you're so quiet. You're quiet. You're quiet. And it's so funny because we as women are like, what? You know, it's like, but European American men, they're not quiet. Oh, wait, maybe somebody has something to say on here. Hold on. Hello? Oh, no, wait. Let me try this. Let me try to see if somebody's trying to say something. I don't know. Hello? Hello?
Muted.
Oh, shit. Hello? I can't. All right, we moving on. Hi, how you doing? I'm so glad that you came. Oh, it's okay, Alfred. I'm so glad that you came because I was looking for brothers to represent as I'm talking. You know, the sisters, of course, here and all hands on deck. So it's so good to see you. Thank you for being here. All right, so the next thing I was wanted to talk about is what solution can we do in our neighborhoods right now as it relates to building up our youth? And so, as an educator, I have some things I like to throw out, but I know that every one of you has an idea, right? Every one of you, oh, you missed the topic, bro. I had just got in on the president. I was just really quickly, everybody just be patient for a second. We're going to help the brother here. But what's the topic? Well, I was talking about how President Obama denounced the 4 teens who had did that horrific act and did not denounce the football player who raped and molested a mentally challenged African American youth with a hanger, and how I felt about that listening to President Obama do that. And that's what the topic was about. And I kind of feel like all the time, I kind of felt a way about it. And I knew that I had to say something. And I thought, why not discuss it here? Why not discuss it here? So we're on to the next conversation. Unless you want to throw something in there, I'll wait. You know what I'm saying? I told you I do faces, so just kind of bear with me. All right, we good? All right. So what can be done in our neighborhoods right now as it pertains to building up our youth? Here's what I see a lot on Facebook. I love Facebook. It's cool. But I see a lot of complaining, right? Like I see a lot of, oh, this is happening. Oh, this is happening. But I don't see anybody saying, oh, hold on. I think I missed what happened, but many in office Republicans have tried stopping him from progressing. Yes. I totally agree, Martha. I totally agree that they have done that, right? But when he made that, when he went on air and denounced those 4 African American teens for their act, that particularly had nothing to do with Congress. And the message that sent out for me was somehow when it comes down to us, right? Somehow when it comes down to us, we need this kind of chastisement and this kind of more thing. So no, I totally get what Congress did, but keep in mind, Martha, and I am like a pseudo politician in my head. The House and the Senate were Democratic for 2 years. Nothing got done. I'm just putting it out there. The House and the Senate were both Democratic for 2 years. And I didn't see anything get done. That's another discussion we might want to have. A third party. What's the Democratic Party doing? I mean, you're talking to a sister who is friends with quite a few Black Panthers or Gray Panthers as they are now. And it's okay, Alfred. The phone is doing its thing. And so, when I look back on a democratic system, it's kind of placid, right? I don't see them doing enough things. What I do see them do is take advantage of our vote. I do see them, the first 2 years, They did not move on things, but as a group of people, we did not make them move things. And I'd like to see for 2017 for us to get to a place where we actually push them to do things that we put them in office to do. And not that they got into office and just do the same shit that they've done the other 4 years or 2 years prior to. I'm very passionate politically. So, okay, so I'm going to read this comment. I expect Obama to play that role of being one that condemns the African American while accusing the acts of others. While excusing the acts of others, his voice is political and financially driven. I agree. And it's sad. Because, at these last few days, I kind of wanted Brother Man to do a bit more. And I did give him lots of leeway in regard to a lot of the things that were happening to him. But I don't feel that leeway he gave to us. So I totally feel what you're saying, that we as African Americans also have to take responsibility in the fact that we did not push our political agenda of what we wanted on him. I think we kind of, and if I'm speaking for us in a way that's wrong, let me know. But I think we kind of assumed that he would know the platform and the platforms that we had to discuss. I'd rather see a resurgence of true black community. I agree. So I totally agree. I totally agree. I totally agree. I was saying prior to you coming in that for 2017, that's the kind of discussions I want to have. I want to have discussions where we support our businesses, where we support our nonprofit organizations that help our youth, that we support sisters who write articles for the Huffington Post and get them out, that we are a dynamic group of people when we start to get our stuff together. And nothing like pressure, stress, no medical coverage to do that. Okay. The next thing, because, oh my God, it's 7:30. I can't believe I thought I could do this for 30 minutes. So I just wanted to say really quickly, what solutions can we do in our own neighborhood? Some of you are doing some really powerful things in your neighborhood that other people may not know of. So, say it. Like I said, I'm wearing the Talum shirt. I don't want to put my, but it's, out there. But I love the fact that she's doing things for the youth. And I love the things that she's doing because as an educator, it affects me. When our youth are better, my job as a teacher can be better. Your job as a parent, a father, a mother, when you raise our children, it just keeps going. Blacks, for the most part, haven't culminated a political platform. Right. So, we had even discussed this thing about a third party, but that's another conversation. It's really another conversation, but one I hope to have. I don't know how you guys felt about the Green Party, but that's getting off the topic. So the topic is, what solutions can we do in our neighborhoods right now? So right now, I'll tell you what I'm doing. Right now, what I'm doing for our youth is I am volunteering to help them write their resumes. To get a job. And at the same time, discussing with them about how to maximize the things that they've done and make that into a criteria that can be put on their resume so they can look, so they could be presentable when they come to a job. And that's one of the things I'm doing. I think that's important. Tapasio says, attend your local government meetings, get to know your local police department. Oh my God, that's so good. Get involved, especially if you don't think our government is doing their job. Absolutely. Because it's the people, right? We the people, in order to form a more perfect union. See, I'm older, so I know that song. I don't know how many of y'all could flow with the song with me, but it is we the people. There was a time in growing up where I grew up where we did so much. We did so much in terms of helping our youth. And I used to see African American men helping young men dress right. I mean, I grew up in an era where men wore hats all the time. I mean, and it was dapper. I don't know if they still use that word, but it was dapper. To see all men. I mean, my grandfather every day of his life wore a hat, and that's how he carried himself. So when I look to myself, thank you about the resume writing. Yeah. So I've been thinking about also helping them write their college essays too, because I have to say that a lot of times when I help my students with their high school essays, when I have helped them with their high school essays, they're not written well. Not good, well, they're not written well. And so that could be a definite outgoer. So that's something that I do to help out the youth. What do you suggest that you can do right now to help out with the youth? Because that's what this is about. This is really not about Gina looking cute in a head wrap and glasses. This is not what that's about. This is about solutions. That's exactly what this is about. Okay, reinforcing the true meaning of loving thyself, knowledge of self, self-esteem classes teach our young men and women how to be great orators. I love that. I really love that. That's my era. I feel what you're saying. Exposing youth to dream vision boards and its meetings. Great, Yolanda. Oh my God, are you doing that in your neighborhood? That seems like a really great thing to do. Imagine if a student can actually, especially when, remember, I work with youth. So, when you don't feel like you have any options, to hear something of make a vision board and kind of put your, what you dream and vision, and the word says that, so a man thinketh, so he is. It kind of reminds me, Yolanda, of when I was in the classroom and I would say to my students, mathematicians, take out your math book. And you should see my students, they would be like this. They'd be like, getting all the math things right because I said mathematicians. Or if I said, okay, scientists, we need to do our biology today. It's this kind of viewpoint. I really like that, Yolanda. So if you are doing that, please let us know, because most of the people who are appearing right now on this Facebook Live are people who give a shit, right? Who give a damn, about our youth, about how we need to galvanize and change. I do know this, brothers and sisters. Not everybody is going to be down for the cause. So let me just reiterate that. I know not everybody is going to be down for the cause, and not everybody is called to uplift the people. That's just the way it is. So the very fact of you being in this room with me and having this discussion means so much to me, because nobody wants to feel like they're alone in this. You know what I'm saying? Alfred says, I'm working on developing systems which includes problem solvings. And Barim says, I would like even people don't support by giving money, but they support our youth by sharing my org's fundraising efforts. So if you don't know, please go to Amberimba Charles's site and definitely look at her fundraising efforts. I know I worked in one of her workshops. Excellent done. And all of the workshops that she gave was on every level of what a child should do. Encouraging travel, applying for their passport. I'm really big on that. Do you know I just came from Spain, Sikkim? I just came from Spain. Like, I travel a lot. And, under the this presidency coming up, my 13-year-old was like, are we leaving? Are we leaving the U.S.? I don't know how many of your children asked, but, we have our passports to leave. And you know what else I think also in encouraging travel and applying for their passport? You should know another language. You should speak another language besides English. Yeah, most definitely. Most definitely. Had a great experience to expose high school students with a dear friend. Oh my God, that sounds so great. And remember that, I know you probably thought of that idea too for your youth, a vision board. I really like that idea for youth. I really do. That's right. They're debate teams. Sikkim, my org sponsors the Achievement First book. That's right. They do. As a matter of fact, they were like doing really well. I think they flew off to something. Oh, I really love that. I really love that. I've been thinking about, hi Maribel, I'm so glad that you were able to come, and I appreciate, I totally agree. It's very important for youth to travel. Very, very, very important. You know, whomever is in this room right now, we all have consciousness, right? And a responsibility to uplift. And to whom much is given, much is required. So I can tell you this much, that for the people in this room, if you need my help in something, just email me at DiversityisaVerb. And I know for a fact that there's so many brothers and sisters doing so many things on here. Please connect with them, and we can connect with one another. The whole point, like I always think to myself about, oh, you can have 3,000 friends on Facebook or 10,000 or whatever, but there's this few of us that are willing to do the work. So I'm really appreciative of you being here and doing that work. So, wow, those are some really great suggestions. What I'd like to do with those suggestions is broaden it. Meaning, I know about Amberimba's debate team, and I know about Dillis, who does an awesome job, in case you guys need to broaden your platform, to make it more national in terms of getting your message out there, that, you should want to speak to her. And Tapasio, I mean, I've met some awesome people, but you know what I found, for the people in this room, that when I connect with you, I'm connecting with me. Does that make sense? You know what I'm saying? I'm finding someone in my tribe. And I'm saying, you do that? Okay, sister. Well, here's this brother here. Okay, well, brother, oh, here's this other brother here. And that's the way I want to move. I really don't have the time to go, oh, your pants is down. I really don't have the time. I don't have the time to sit around and go, oh, black men aren't doing this. Black women aren't this. Oh, she's ugly. Oh, she's pretty. Oh, her hair's nappy. Oh, her hair's straight. I don't have the time, because I understand they are killing our African-American boys and African-American girls. They are killing Latino boys and Latino girls. They are killing us and leaving our bodies dead in the street with blood on them. And it doesn't seem like anybody gives a goddamn. Do you understand what I'm saying? I said got. Got. Don't bite me. Don't let the Christian people bite me. Do you understand what I'm saying? What I'm concerned about is stopping the bloodshed. What I'm concerned about is bringing this to the forefront. What I'm concerned about is creating a better tribe. What I'm concerned about is watching African American men actually talk to our youth. Because if I could talk to them, you could definitely talk to them. They're looking for fathers. They're looking for fathers. So when I saw those youth that did what they did to that young European American teen, I'm not going to sit up here and say to you I wasn't bothered by it. I was. But I want to tell you, the first thing that went through my mind is, what kind of trauma you had to go through in order for you to do something like that. We never think of it like that. We never think of it like that. And I know, I might be the bad guy for saying that, but we never think about it like that. I feel like I was and I'm getting passionate now. I feel like I was the only one, because I live in Connecticut. And by the way, this is my prayer room. This is my prayer room. And I live in Connecticut. And so when that shooting happened, with that teen coming in and shooting all those babies, and the news media said that I think 10 were killed. They acknowledged the children, and you didn't acknowledge the mother as if it was her fault for having a son like that, and you didn't acknowledge him. There's some pain here, and we've got to start to eliminate that pain. I love what Marcia said. That's a saying I hear all the time. Hurt people hurt people. And we have got to get to a place, I don't know if it's we as women, so men, you let me know if I'm wrong, But, you know, when I see someone do something, or when I see my students act out, I know it has nothing to do with me. It has nothing to do with me. It has everything to do with what mental situation that they're in. And because no one is going, you know what, little man, I got you. You know what, little princess, I got you. You know, oh, you look beautiful today. The Twinkle was saying in this group that I'm in, you know, what is the problem with us complimenting one another? Not just as adults, as kids. You know why? Because we're not complimenting our children. I'm sure the conscious people here are, but I'm talking about unconscious people. They're not complimenting their child. They're not going, you are so beautiful. Did I tell you how smart you were? Because when you feel good about yourself, you have no problem with loving on someone else. And I have to say, without being conceited, I loves me some Gina. So it's not difficult for me to love every person in this room and respect what they bring, because I see my spirit in them and their spirit in me. I love what Tapasio said, and are needing of guidance. They are crying out for love, and we don't get it. Yeah. We don't get it because we're too busy trying to pay the bills. And I got it. Bills are important. I really get it. Bills are important. But if somebody's robbing you, I remember Amber Rimba told me that, you know, it's funny how people don't seem to be concerned, but you're concerned when after they rob you, you know, you're concerned with you're concerned then. So why don't we stop it in our tracks? Yolanda just said, oh my God, my late mom, an educator, always said that. Yay. We're not complimenting ourselves. Absolutely. And we don't do it to ourselves. You know, we don't do it to ourselves. I have to honestly say also, oh, let me see what Sikkim said, because you're the only brother, you know. So, but I know Alfred has some phone issues. Otherwise, I know he'd be saying something. Many men fear them. Why? Because too many men have not the attributes of men, but of males. Ooh. But being a man is viewed as vibrational confrontation in this nation for black men. Instead, that strength is far and few, because today males want to make money, not a difference. I'm a man. I'm down for making a difference by any means necessary. Ashe. 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 Don't have me get emotional, please. I'm a Cancer. We some emotional people. Ashe. Ashe. I feel you. I feel you. I really feel you. I really feel you. Oh my God, this was so good. Like, I could keep going on with you guys forever, you know, and I thank you for the suggestions. And this is what I'd like to do. You know, I'd like to, oh, stop. I'd like to, oh, he's a man's man. Y'all better listen. This is, okay. I gotta act silly. Because if I don't act silly, I'll be serious all the time. But you know what? I was thinking of you guys, for the people who are in this room. Thank you for being in this room. I honor your spirit for being in this room. Am I freaking up your name? Oh my God. I wish that I could. You're killing the pronunciation. It's not. I don't know. I'm so bad. Don't be mad at me, please. See, I have an easy name, Gina. Can you do that little pronunciation thing and I can kind of figure it out? No, we should be the first to ask what trauma did they experience. The reason for this is what we should be empathetic, but we should not be apologetic by excusing wrong behavior. We should ask what the problem is so we can find out the answer. I get what you're saying. Oh, okay. Is it Sai? You didn't put long I, so Saikim? Can you do that? Long I, long E kind of thing for me? Yeah. All right, so this is what I want to say. I was thinking about coming up with a Facebook group that's just for kids, just for teens. Let me know how you guys feel about that. And what these teens do is we have them come on the Facebook page. And, you know, this eliminates renting a room. I'm going to get to that, Marcia. Hold on. And this eliminates renting a room. And so say if we come up I come up with a Facebook name, a Facebook group, and we have people, you have your child, schools can tune in, that kind of thing, and different people talk with them, not more than 35 minutes about some of the issues, say a social worker, say a psychologist that comes on, an educator in terms of college in case they need it, and different topics go out. Would you be interested in forming that kind of platform? Do you get what I'm saying? Do you guys get what I'm saying? So you know how we have the Facebook groups where you do whatever it is you do in your Facebook group. But say we have one that's just geared for teens and youth. Tapasio, I think, I mean, they could even go to her site, and parents go there and get what they need. Do you know what I'm saying, in terms of being better parents? Because I get it. I mean, I am a mother of five. Huh, huh, five. I'm not going to say your name anymore because I really feel bad about jacking that up. But what I'm going to say is brother. Man. But you get what I'm saying? And so say Tapasio, who I know uplifts parents and gives them this, because in order to raise conscious children, you've got to be conscious. But what if we had a group like that? I've been really thinking about doing that and what that looks like. So Marcia asked me the question, so Gina, what can we do to help heal? And so I want to tell you, Marcia, there's not one thing. God bless Maribel. Thank you for coming in. I don't know if you're leaving by God bless, but thank you for coming in. I appreciate you. But Marcia, what I do know is that there's not just one thing to heal in terms of it, but I think us becoming compassionate for one another again starts it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like I was telling you, I don't know if you heard, Marcia, when I first started the discussion, I was talking about a story that Tapasio was kind enough to share about her brother-in-law who's Indian, who looked up his last name and how he found people in the United States with his last name and said, look, can you help me? How many of us, Marcia, would actually help them? So maybe because I'm an educator, I don't know. But I look at all youth as if they're my youth. I look at all teens, all little kids as if they're mine. So imagine if we did that. Then Marcia, you wouldn't be, not to say you, but you would not be fearful, right, of saying to a young queen, you look so beautiful today. How are you doing in school? I can't tell you how many times when I drive into work and I see students and I go, you look so beautiful. You headed off to school? And they go, yeah. And I go, oh my God, are you getting good grades? They just start telling me, yeah, I'm not doing so good in math though. And I go, what? Oh my gosh. Well, why not? Do you talk to your teacher about it? No, I don't talk to my teacher about it. Let me tell you something. And I pull them off to the side and I talk to them, because I can tell you as a teacher and a parent, your children, I was about to say students, will not tell you what goes on in class. They just won't. Oh, okay, thank you. I know God bless me God bless you for having 4. So you know what I'm saying. So when you have 5 children, not to say that that's some sort of miracle, but it's like a tribe. You know what I'm saying? Everywhere we go, it's like a football team. So I'm very much in team mode all the time. You understand what I'm saying? So not to say that when you have 4, you don't think it, but you know what I'm talking about. Like going to fast food, which I don't go to, is like pure hell. But thanks, Amber. I think that group would be nice. It would save a lot in terms of money, right? In terms of the room, in terms of, a lot of things. And I think we can do it. Marcia said, all connected. I agree. Yes, they need an outlet, not therapy, just someone to talk to. Agree. God bless you for embracing these kids. Thank you. And I thank everybody here, because I know you didn't have to be. Hey, Arlene. Hey, Gina, Syracuse, listening to you. I am willing to help and live and continue to speak your truth. Oh my God, I have such, like I could get so emotional. I have such beautiful women and brothers who support me, and I do them. And the very fact that we're in this room discussing, possibly creating a Facebook just for kids, a safe zone, and different presenters come and speak once a week or twice a month. And we as parents make a commitment to go, oh, okay, look, it's, Tuesday the 15th, it's time to do this. I don't know, I email you parents or whatever, and we make it bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, where then they take over. You see, then that's real, when the real power comes, when now the youth are able to go, I got this. Well, let me, because that's when you've mastered it, right? Ladies and gentlemen, good night. You can link with me. Oh, you guys, he's giving a great link. You know what? Do me a favor. Call me. Do you have my number? Get me on Facebook and I'll give you my number, and so I can say your name right, because I don't like that. Okay, so call me. And it says you can link up with community initiatives at www.about.me/MSKM_presents. I am willing to assist. Blessings, blessings. Ashe. Anyone who wants to connect with me, I love this. Please make me a friend. Tapasia, great person to make a friend with. Love connecting with like-minded people. Marcia Chambers, yes. Arlene, Amber Rimba, please do that. All right, I've taken up too much of your time. I really like the idea about the Facebook for teens. Let's make that happen for 2017. Who knows, maybe we could do like a middle school and teens, because I could see somebody going, well, my 13-year-old. So let's do that. Okay, so I want to thank you for each one of you who came on. I really appreciate it. Please connect with these people that are in the group. Why? Because, again, oh, let me say this poem. I wanted to say this poem. Let me say this poem before you go. You ready? Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. We were born to manifest the glory of God that is within us. It's not just in some of us. It's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. That's what I'm going to leave you with. Amber River was kind enough to put up my website, GinaHumber.com. You could Google me, hey. Marcia says, I'm honored. You're truly a blessing and so appreciate it. I'm only a blessing because you see something in me that's in you. I'm reflective of who you are. I'm very big on that. Please know the Talum Foundation is www.talumfoundation.org. And I believe in supporting. All right. Thank you very much. I appreciate you being here. Ashe. Namaste. Have a powerful day. Thank you, Maribel. You're so beautiful. Okay. Bye.